Welcome to the thrust and stab class. I'm sure there's a better name for it, but I couldn't think of one, so that's what we're having today. Okay. As always, you need to know the purpose of the class. Purpose of the class is to understand the basic three types of thrusts and stabs, and to be able to do all three thrusts and stabs safely. Safety being very important. Next, and to understand and do the special requirements for the Twilight Knights Renaissance Guild thrust and stab, which will be different than many other HEMAs. Okay, so that's your purpose. Okay, as always, with the class, we'll give you the rules, the 3 or 4 or 5 things to especially remember. For thrusts and stabs or shish kebab 101, there are 4 of them. Okay, the rule number 1 is, remember, pointy end goes into the man. It seems really simple, okay, but the truth is you only need to hit them with the pointy. That's all you need. There's no need to try to drive your weapon through his body and out the other side like in the movies. Okay, because honestly, you get stabbed with a long sword, you're pretty much done. Okay, you may not be dead, but you're pretty much done. Number 2, the shortest distance between 2 points is what?
Straight line. A
straight line. So most of your stabs are going to be straight lines. Don't try to do this kind of wrap around. I'm going to do this. No, man, there's no need for that. Okay, most of the time, your stabs or your thrusts are going to be a straight line. All right. Number 3, stabs are a direct target attack. Okay, it's about targeting, it's about finesse, it's about speed, it's not about strength and power. Again, it doesn't matter if you come with all the power you've got and you come in. If you're slow as hell, they're just gonna block you. Okay, if you come in from over here, they have plenty of time. Okay, you need to make sure you understand your targeting. Targeting is really very important. And no, that's why I call it. Number 4, when you thrust, when you stab, especially on the third type of thrusting and stabbing, you leave yourself very open. You really do. Okay, so my number 4 note, y'all come back soon now. That means you come back to guard as soon as possible. Okay, whether you miss or you hit, you come back to guard as soon as possible. Okay, this is not anime. Okay, he comes at me with a stab and he actually hits me. He doesn't sit there and pose all pretty like. Okay, mountains don't explode in the background. Chi power doesn't come in red bands and yellow bands into him. Okay, you come back to guard as soon as possible. Everybody with me on the 4 rules?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you think that I will mention them again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, why thrusts and stabs? Okay, to be very honest, it makes common sense, right? I mean, okay, yes, we can chop, yes, we can hack, yes, we can slice, but you got a pointy on your weapon, why not use it? Okay, if we do, I will tell you right now, if we do well with stabs, we will introduce pommel and hilt attacks as well, because most HEMA groups will do them. Okay, yeah, it makes sense, right? It adds another attack or multiple attacks to your repertoire. All right, so why wouldn't you want more than slash, cut, chop? To have more is better. All right. Next, space considerations. Okay, so can I borrow one of those? Let us say I have one of these and he comes this close to me. This is probably, and I block it, this is probably not a good place for me to try to do a chop or a hack. But if I could come to here, I can stab. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so space considerations. The other one is, I don't consider it, but this way, but it is what it is in the manual that I've read and I've been taught from. It is a physical consideration. Not everybody can go out running out with one of these rawr, and sustain an actual combat, force on force or WA, for 5-10 minutes. Not everybody can. Not all of us are built like. Okay? So yeah, I'm going to go to the rapier and I'm just going to think. You're charging think. You're charging think. Whatever it may be. It may be a physical consideration. It may be even with a longsword, you don't have the arm strength to chop and hack all the time. So every once in a while you throw in a stab. Everybody with me so far?
Yep.
Excellent. Next thing we're going to talk about is the special Twilight Knights Renaissance Guild version of our stab. Okay? So the truth of the matter is when you face other HEMA groups, some of them will stab with all the power in their mighty little arms. Okay? Why? One, it's a macho thing. Two, it is a fear and excitement thing. How many of us have realized that sometimes, yeah, we do hit harder than we probably should, especially if we're facing an opponent that we know is tough, right? Okay? Three, it's an intimidation thing. We will not do that. We will always go limp wrist when we strike with a stab or a thrust. What does that mean? As soon as you feel pressure against your hand, you will limp your wrist. Okay? We're not gonna, like, this is me doing full strength wrist into tongue. Okay? And that's uncomfortable, even with the jacket on. Okay? This is why I recommend you get chest protectors to put under your jacket, but that's up to you. This is me limp wristing. Hey, he felt it. He knew he got stabbed. Okay? Alright? Doing it differently. Right here. Okay? This is this might hurt. This is me doing a full strength stab. You notice my blade did bend, so it wasn't going to go through him. But did you feel that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is me limp wristing.
Definitely feel it.
Yeah, but not as bad as the other one. Okay? This includes all forms of stabs. If you're single swordsman with a rapier, with a saber, whatever, you will limp wrist. And even here, yeah, you can. And here, with a stab, boom. See how I brought it up? Okay, I've limp wristed. You can limp wrist down. Okay, whatever it may be. This is very important. This is what we're going to do to keep ourselves safe and to keep other people safe. Yes?
It's not just about making it more comfortable for your opponent too. It's a serious safety concern. If you get, for example, the blade under their bib and it goes up, that breaking of the wrist could save their life if you get them square in the neck.
Okay?
I've never seen any of our people have broken ribs. I'd rather not change it until we introduce that.
Exactly. Now, when we go and compete with other guilds, that is your choice to fight people who don't limp wrist or not. I will tell you, most of them don't. Okay, just letting you know. Truth, right? The truth is, most of them don't. But then again, most of them are not HEMA, so we're going to be a lot faster. Okay? If you look at most HEMA fights, they are almost at 75% time. There's a lot of posing because you want to get exactly how it looks in the manual. Well, we don't have a manual. Well, we do, but not what we do. Okay? Okay? I'm sorry, it's just a jab. It's called a jab, okay? That's when you're fighting and you just jab a little, okay? You do not bring yourself out of line, because see how I'm very exposed, okay? There's no fancy. You can go a little lower, you can go a little higher, but you're just doing a jab, okay? It's a jab. With an arming sword, it looks like that, okay? Even though this one is technically not allowed for thrusting. It is a keep away, okay? He's getting a little close. He's coming in. Oh, we're just gonna jab. You're just gonna jab, you're just gonna jab him, okay? It is a target of opportunity. He comes high. Oh, I could get a jab in there. Just a little one, because I don't want to come out too far, okay? Just a little jab, all right? It is not a reflective strike. You're perfectly in stance, and he comes in and you just do that. That is wrong. We will not do reflective strikes with the thrusts and stabs. Okay? Everybody does it. I still do it. It's just Big Tom coming at me. Okay? But if you see somebody do it, you need to call them on it. Stop combat right away, because especially when we add the thrusts and the stabs into it, it is very, very unsafe. Okay? Why? Let us say Tom is coming in and he where is Tom open? Usually low or the gate, right? So he's coming in, and I respectively in a panic just jab out. Where's that going?
Right into his face.
Okay? Or if he's coming really high on me, I reflectively jab out. Where's that going? You have a cup? Okay. Just checking. All right. So yes.
And if you do that, not only will it be not safe, it also you're not blocking their strike either. So you're probably just going to get hit.
Okay. Is it something that can be done as a riposte? Absolutely. He's coming in at me. Boom. A jab. He's coming in at me. Boom. A jab. Yes, you can do that. Okay. But what I don't want is the I don't want the
Especially since you're not going to limp wrist if it's a reflective strike. It's just not going to happen.
With a long sword, jab. That's a big long jab. Okay, jab, jab. Keep away, keep away. Or if he comes in, block, maybe a jab, just to keep him honest. Okay, comes in low, block, jab, keep him honest. Everybody with me?
It's like fighting with spearmen, man.
Rapiers and side swords and sabers. He's here. Jab. Jab. This is, by the way, the jab for the rapiers, long swords, side swords, and sabers, and a little bit of the back swords too, which is what those are trying to try to be, is an actual part of your repertoire. Okay, for rapiers, for this branch of single-handed weapons, okay, the 3 thrusts and stabs are pretty much all you're going to do. So it's very important, okay? It's absolutely okay to flick up and jab down here. Try not to hit the groin. It is absolutely okay to flick here and jab through here, okay? It looks like that, especially if you're a long swordsman with it up and down. Be very, very careful of just that, because that's bread and butter.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
be very, very careful. We don't do, we are keeping our target strike zones above the knee, but most HEMA groups, any touch is legal. Okay, so it is very possible to see that.
Stab him in the toe.
Okay, yeah, I know. Okay? That is a actual stab, a full stab, okay? It is usually done absolutely on purpose. That is your absolute attack. That is the move you're going to make, okay? It can come here. It can come here. It can come here. It can go here. It can go here. Now notice, for this one, I am turning myself out a little bit. I am leaning in to get the target. If he comes up top and I block it, I definitely have to come a little low to get through this guard or through the gate, okay? It is a purposeful, actual attack, usually attempting to get under the guard of your opponent. It is very handy as a riposte, okay? And it's very difficult because he has 2. Strikes 1, boom, yeah, I'm stabbing in, okay? He strikes low guard middle, here, I'm stabbing in. He strikes low, I'm stabbing in. And notice that I'm extending myself out. This is not a hand. This is my counter attack. This is my riposte. Everybody understand that? How it works for you is up to you. Everybody fights with a different style. Some of us like to get a little closer. Some of us, especially with shields, want to be a little further apart. With the shield, you know, he does come at you. Boom, that's a step. See, that's a full step. See how I'm extending out? Okay? It's not me just saying, ah, get away, you're scaring me. All right? If he comes over the top, that's a full stab. Okay? If he comes this side and I gotta move my shield, that's a stab. Okay? You can also come in, like he comes in, you block, boom, I'm gonna step in, I'm gonna come over the top. I'm gonna come under the bottom. This works for bucklers too, by the way. Okay? I do not recommend trying to do the wrap. If you're gonna do the wrap, just chop them. Okay? Don't try to stab them through the wrap. But this is how it works. Because this is how it works, we're gonna do the practical applications a little differently. I'm gonna ask you to go to the trees first. Why? Now you can figure out and you can set, okay, this is a good distance for me. This is not a good distance for me. I don't think I will be stabbing as much as I will be hitting. I will tell you one thing that you will notice with other HEMA groups, long swordsmen tend not to stab a lot. Why? Because it's freaking long, okay? And by the time you're close enough to stab, you might as well just hit them.
You'll most likely see a longsword stab after a block. So you take the block and turn to a stab.
Okay? So get yourself comfortable. I want you to slow down to 10 times. Okay? And in fact, I want you to do 15 times and then have them shake it out and then do it again and then we'll come out to partners. Okay?
Strike. 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 Full stabs. Ready. Strike. 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 Stand up, shake it out.
So the last one is mostly for the arming sword, rapier, saber, side sword, back sword set, but I have seen it done with long sword. Okay. The last one is the full thrust or the full lunge. Okay. Especially with a fetzer, with a person of Tom's height and reach, it can be very, very deadly. A full thrust, and that's what we're just going to call it, the full thrust, is a full purposeful thrust going for one target. Unlike what a lot of people think, it is not the Hail Mary, I'm dying, I'm going to die, this is my last attack thing. It's not. It depends on how in shape you are. You will theoretically come back into guard. From a longsword standpoint, I'm here. And let us pretend that Tom is Ben and Ben is Tom. And I know I have the distance on this guy. Okay? It is quite possible for me to do this. And notice how open I am. Alright? A full thrust is usually an attack where you're stepping with one or the other leg. Okay? So if I'm here, I'm going to do a full thrust right in there. You'll see a lot of these on the manual pictures online from HEMA groups, okay? Or if I'm here, he comes full thrust into him because I'm stepping into him. Okay? Couple things to be aware of though. You block low. This is a dangerous thing. Can be done. Okay? You'll see it done. Notice how I binded him with my little kitschy shelf here. Okay? But you gotta limp wrist as soon as you feel contact. Okay, guys? Alright?
Maybe even limp elbow.
Because he is concerned for safety, I'm not going to actually stab him. Okay? But with an arming sword, a full thrust is a full thrust. A full thrust can be a full thrust. Alright? If I have a shield, I will step in. I will step in. Okay? I may even come here, but that's not a full thrust. Because you're stepping in, yes, but you're short. The distance is short. A full thrust is a full thrust. This is a stab. Alright? Rapier longsword types, this is very important because you have the distance. You have the reach. From here, I am not Tom. I am not a jolly green giant that has arm reach that I can actually hit him from here. But I can hit him from here. Okay? If I'm fighting this way, I can hit him from here. I can even feint up and go here. Sunburn. Okay? It is exactly like Olympic fencing where they actually do a lunge. Only now you have no right of way. So if you see it, do it.
Might makes right.
Alright? There is no right of way. If you're left-handed, same thing. I'm here. I'm going to stab all the way in. Okay? Again, distance, limp wrist is very important on this one. Get your distance. Learn your distance, okay? There's nothing more embarrassing. Okay? I have you. Oops. I missed. Okay? So make sure you have your distance. This last part is what I call tips, tricks, and sneaky shit. Okay? I'm sure many of us have already noticed that maybe the stab is not for me, unless it is truly a wide open gap target of opportunity. I'm sure many of us, or some of us, have noticed I'm a lot slower with the stab with this particular weapon than I am with the cut or a slash. Okay? And the truth of the matter is yeah, because your weapon choices is going to dictate what is your best attack. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have also noticed, hey, if I really want to do stabs, and honestly guys, you should all really want to do stabs because it is another option for an attack, okay? I need to get my arm strength and my hand-eye coordination up to par. And these are all very true. However, there are certain things you can do that are tips, tricks, and cheating and things like that, and you will see it in other HEMA groups as well. I'm going to go through the 3 types of weapons that I have here, and I'm going to show you these tips and tricks, okay? So we're going to start with the main one, of course, which is the longsword, okay? Now, it is absolutely true that if I am fighting longsword, you don't have to even get your gear up, just kind of stand there, you know, and stuff. This is a very difficult stab. However, a lot of times when you're blocking left, blocking right, blocking high, you can stab thusly. Okay? Why? Because real swords are not razor sharp. Okay? Hell, real knives and real daggers are not razor sharp. If you go into combat with a razor sharp blade, you know what you're going to get? A broken or a very notched up blade. Okay? So if I'm coming here to block high, I can do that. Okay? And this is only allowed for the long sword, because the long swords are usually not fully sharpened at all. At all. Okay? Yeah. Okay? I'm blocking low. I can do that. Okay, not to the groin, but to the tummy. Okay, you can do that, right? And to me, it's almost like I turned my lunge into a bayonet. Okay, I do not recommend you go out and you combat like this. Okay, because you look kind of silly. But yeah, like if you know, if he, or especially if he comes across here and he's trapped. Oh, this is lovely. All right, so that's room ruin. This is called half sorting it. If you ever hear that term, oh, he went half sorting it and he got him. That's what it is. It's a half sorting it. Okay? Now this is for shields, 16th century shields like that. It is entirely different if you have one of our Viking shields, one of our kite shields. But this is for mostly bucklers and stuff. And there's always the knockout. Okay? He's coming in at you. You knock it out, breaking the rule of keeping it close, and then you just step in. Okay? You're not even doing no. You're just knocking it out and stepping it in. Now, logically speaking, if I knock out, shouldn't that mean that I can knock up? And that is the most deceptive thing when you work against a buckler guy or a shield guy. Okay, because they're here, you know, you see that, he just weaves in. Okay? There's also the knock side. He's coming in on this side, boom, I'm going to stab in. He's knocking on this side, boom, I'm going to stab in. Okay? This is not, and honestly, all you need is like a little jab, and then limp wrist it. He'll feel it. I promise you, he'll feel it. Okay? And then there's the oh shit. Okay? He's coming on top. Oh shit! Doink, 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 doink. There it is. Got to practice it up. Okay? Side swords, rapiers, we're going to call them the single-handed thrusting weapons from now on. Okay? Single-handed thrusting weapons. Most and almost all of your attacks are going to be with the thrust. The tips and tricks are so many. Okay? I will only go through 3 of the main ones. Okay? The first one is the tap and thrust. Tap and thrust. Okay? Because you have that longer tip, okay, because it is one-handed and it's easier to move, okay, and especially if you have like a main gauche to block here, you know, tap and thrust. Hell, tap and lunge. Notice I limp wristed. Okay? You gotta be careful. Now, so the first one is the tap and the stab. The next one is the wrap stab. Notice how I'm doing it? I'm just wrapping him. I'm bringing him in line to go here. You don't want to wrap outline, okay? Because that is a weird move, okay? And also because if I bat him out there, how easy is it for him to, I'll just chop you. Which is what most HEMA guys will do, okay? It is what it will be, okay? Last one, of course, is the beat and the double, which is and I'm coming in. Okay, you'll see that a lot with rapiers, not so much with side swords and sabers. Okay, and then I'm going to add one more, which I can because it's a single-handed thrusting weapon. Ready? Okay, boom. Yeah, Trixie. Okay, seeing it again. Goes like this. Boom. It looks like I'm going to do a full-on thrust, so he's expecting it. But I'm going to spin it around and just go in the middle. Oh, yeah. You can do that because it is a one-handed thrusting weapon, and theoretically, it's lighter than 4 pounds. Okay? This one's about a 2.5. All right?
Technically do it with long swords.
You can technically, but again, it will be slower.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And you're binding your arms. Okay? So this, if I had a main gauche or a buckler, I can still defend myself if I miss, which again, rule number 4, you know, y'all come back now. Very, very important. Any questions on some of these little tricks and stuff? And you may even want to try some of these little tricks and stuff. Cool? Good? Good. Try your stabs. Try your jabs. Try your little things that you've seen before. Okay? Because this is how you're going to learn. Alright? Break. And that is the end of our video for today. Thank you very much.